everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brittany of BrittanyJJones.com, and we are on day 4 of Bodysuit Week here on the YouTube channel using Simplicity Pattern 8513. I really do hope you all have been enjoying this so long. I've been having a lot of fun. I absolutely love sewing up these bodysuits, and my fall top wardrobe is pretty much complete. Probably won't be sewing any more tops because these bodysuits took care of all that for me. So let's get into view D and what you're going to need to sew this bodysuit. For view D, you're going to need pieces 2, 7, 17, 18, and 19. Piece 2 is your crotch lining, so don't forget to cut that out. Before we start sewing, I do want to bring something to your attention that I noticed while sewing this pattern. This is a black ponte knit that I use to sew view D. Now I noticed that because I did sew an extra large, the neck, while it stands up, you know, the ponte gives it structure, it still kind of collapsed because it was just a little too big around my neck area. So if I was to go back and sew this, I would cut and enlarge around this area just so the neck is a little, it's not going to be tight choking you, but it won't be so loosey-goosey, if you know what I mean. It still stands up and it has that structure, but it's just a little loosey-goosey around the neck. So just wanted to let you all know that, again, just like you see yesterday, if you have some muslin knit fabric laying around, definitely try to sew it up, or you can even base your neckband in place, try it on and see how you're liking it, and then you can go from there making adjustments if you need to. So once you have all your markings transferred, your knots snipped into, everything cut out and ready to go, we can get started.
Alright everybody, so the first step to sewing view D is to go ahead and pin your shoulders and side seams together. Once you have them all pinned, go ahead and take them to your sewing machine and sew them down. After you have it sewn, make sure that you finish off your edges. Here's mine. I finished off my shoulders as well as my side seams. Next step for us to do is to grab our collar, which is piece 19. Go ahead and open that up, and you want to fold it lengthwise with wrong sides together. Your right sides are out facing you, and you go ahead and pin in place. Once it's pinned, go ahead and take it to the sewing machine and baste those raw edges. Once you have it all basted together, the next step is to go ahead and grab your bodysuit. You want to take your collar piece and just begin to line up your notches as well as your dots and pin it in place, right sides, having those raw edges even. Once you have it all done, go ahead and sew it and then finish off your edges. Once you have your collar attached, you want to make sure that you press your edges facing down and then finish off those raw edges. You can see here that I cut some thin strips of interfacing just to stabilize the back because we're going to get ready to install our zipper. So go ahead and grab your zipper, and now we can go ahead and pin it and install your zipper, whichever method you prefer to use. I know we all have different methods, so I will let you all pick whichever one works best for you, and just go ahead and pin it and then install your zipper now. Here you can see that I have my zipper pinned down. I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, baste it in place, and then I'll go back, make sure that my collar seams are lining up like I like. And once it's all good to go, I'll go ahead and push over the grooves of the zipper and sew really, really close to install the zipper with permanent stitches. So now you can see that I have my zipper all installed. I have my collar seam lined up like I like. So now we can move on to closing up the remainder of our center back seam. I also went back and I trimmed off a little bit of that interfacing because I could see a little of the white poking out. So I went back and trimmed that up. So now you can go ahead and start pinning the remainder of your back center seam together on your back piece. Once you have it all pinned, take it to your sewing machine and then finish sewing the remainder of your center back seam closed. So this is how mine is looking so far. Now we can move on to the next step. Go ahead and press out that center back seam, and then we're going to go ahead and finish off the edges of our leg opening. So next you want to go ahead and fold up 1/8 of an inch on that raw edge. We're working on the back piece, and then fold up along that fold line. We should have transferred that line. Go ahead and put some pins in there. And then once you have it pinned, you can take it to the sewing machine and you can sew right along that inner pressed edge. So go ahead and press it, pin it, and stitch it down now. Once you have that done, it should look something similar to this. And so now we can move on to working on our front crotch. To do this, what you want to do is right sides together. You want to lay your crotch onto the right side of your front piece. Match up your notches in your centers. Go ahead and pin there, right where you have your notches at. And then you want to go ahead and take it to the machine, and then you're going to stitch along that notched edge. Once you have it sewn, go ahead and grab your scissors and you want to trim that seam allowance down. Once it's trimmed, you can go ahead and now take your crotch lining and fold it to the inside of your bodysuit, just like I have here. Once you have it turned to the inside, now you want to baste along those raw edges. So that's all I did. I took it to the machine, I basted it together. So now you want to go ahead and grab your piece 9, which is only your leg elastic guide. I just simply laid my elastic over it. I didn't stretch it, laid it over the guide, and then I cut 2 equal strips. And so now you want to go ahead and grab your elastic. We're going to be working on the inside of the bodysuit. So go ahead and get some pins or clips, whatever you're going to use, and just go ahead and lay your elastic along your leg edge like I'm doing here. Again, I'm working on the inside, so go ahead and do that all the way around both of your leg edges. Once you're done, go ahead and take it to your machine. You're going to stitch using a zigzag stitch, and you're going to stretch the elastic very slightly as you're sewing. So once you're done, it should look similar to this. And what you want to do next is turn your elastic to the inside, put you some pins in, or you can use clips. And then you want to go ahead and stitch it 1/4 of an inch close to that finished edge. So this is how my bodysuit is looking at this point. And so now I'm going to go ahead and grab my snaps, and we can go ahead and apply those right now. To apply your snaps, first you just need to, remember how it's supposed to go. That way you won't be confused. So I'm going to start working on my back piece first. I'm going to take one of these pokey parts out of the kit. I'm going to push it through the inside so that the sharp parts are facing me on the outside. I'm going to lay this piece on top of that. My snaps, they came in a kit, so I have this little blue tool right here that I'm just going to lay over the snap, take it to the floor, and bam with my hammer. Okay, so we're going to do that again. I have the pokes through, it's coming out of on the right side. I'm going to take that part, lay it on top, take the tool, and then with my hammer go to the floor and then secure the snaps in place. So that is how the back is looking so far. Now we're going to walk through the front. So now you want to take your sharp part, put it through the right side on the front, and then get the flat part, put it over top, grab your tool, and then secure it in place with your hammer. So once your crotch is all done, now we can move on to installing our sleeves. So go ahead and grab both of your sleeve pieces and pin them right sides together. Once you have them pinned, go ahead and sew down your underarm seam, and then go ahead and finish off your edges. And while you're there, finish off your hem, and you can hem that too while you're at your sewing machine. So now I went ahead and folded up my sleeve hem. After I finished off the edge, I folded it up, pinned it, and it's best to sew this hem in a circular motion around your sewing machine like I'm doing here. Once you're all done, now we can move on to installing our sleeves into our bodysuit. So go ahead and grab your bodysuit, and then go ahead and find the sleeve, line up the notches to make sure that you're using the right sleeve. First, you want to pin at your underarm seam, and once you have it pinned there, then you can move on to your first notch, then pin at your second notch, and then all the way around, making sure that you distribute the ease throughout your sleeve. So go ahead and do that now. Once you're done, go ahead and sew it and then finish off your edges, and you are all done with this bodysuit. Thank you so much for joining me for another sew along day 4 of Bodysuit Week here on my channel using Simplicity 8513. If you have any questions, leave them for me below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow for day 5 of Bodysuit Week. Blessings, y'all. Bye.